Hello, my name is Scott Davis. Welcome to New World Birth. This is the weekly neutrino forecast for September 18th to September 24th of 2016. And on September 18th, we have the sun. You can see it denoted by this black circle with a dot in it. It's in Virgo. It's also in the 6th hexagram. On the outside of the wheel, we can see the chop mark for the 6 numbered from bottom to top. The 6 goes yin, yang, yang, yang. And then the 6th hexagram is mapped to an opening in an energy channel called a gate. And right here, this is the 6th gate of friction, conflict, the fundamental design component of progress, the law that growth cannot exist without friction. Located in the solar plex center in a tribal energy path in the defense circuit called the channel of mating, a design focused on reproduction that connects with the 59th gate of sexuality, dispersion, the ability to break down barriers to achieve union. And I found human design to be amazingly accurate in describing the person that I use it as my primary tool when I provide readings. And we have the following activated gates on September 18th. The sun is in the 6th gate with the earth in the 36th gate. The north node is in the 64th gate with the south node in the 63rd gate. Mercury is slowing down to station and then turn direct on the 22nd, and it's in the 64th gate along with the north node. Venus is in the 32nd gate. Mars is in the 11th gate. Jupiter is in the 46th gate. Saturn is in the 9th gate. Uranus is retrograde in the 42nd gate. Neptune is retrograde in the 37th gate, and Pluto is retrograde in the 38th gate. So obviously not every gate activation forms a channel, but this information can be very helpful if you know your own human design chart, because some of these transits will form channels with potentials in your personal body graph. And as we begin the week, we have no channel definitions due to the transit field. September 18th begins with the sun in the 4th line of the 6th hexagram. The sun's exalted in the 4th line of the 6th and described as triumph, a position on natural and unchangeable power. Exalted the charity and wisdom that must come with victory and the movement towards new horizons, the power of emotions to dominate a relationship. Later on the 18th, the sun then moves into the 5th line of the 6th hexagram, and this shift happens at 5:20 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 21:20 UT. The sun in the 5th line of the 6th is arbitration, the faith derived from analytical diligence and emotional control that permits a higher authority to judge a conflict. Exalted harmony further through the avoidance of direct conflict. Sensitivity to conflict that can lead to the avoidance of it can lead to the avoidance of intimacy. Detrimented where a party to arbitration sees itself as the best possible judge and will only accept judgment if it is the victor. Insensitivity to the concerns of others in a conflict. On the 19th, the sun then moves into the 6th line of the 6th hexagram at 4:22 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 20:22 UT. The sun in the 6th, this is the line of the peacemaker, the discipline and integrity of a superior force to unilaterally cease conflict to permit surrender and survival of its foe. Exalted the highest form of reason that life is sacred. Emotional power to end conflict tempered by feelings and sensitivity to others. Detrimented the peacemaker whose actions are just but whose terms are unacceptable. The emotional power to end conflict but only after one's conditions have been satisfied. And then on the 20th, the sun moves from the 6th hexagram and gate and joins Jupiter in the 46th, and the Earth moves from the 36th and it moves into the 25. And so we have the Earth is in the 25th gate of the spirit of the self, innocence, the perfection of action through uncontrived and spontaneous nature. This shift happens at 3:24 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 1924 UT, with the sun in the 46th gate of the determination of the self, pushing upwards. Good fortune that may be perceived as a result of serendipity, but derives from effort and dedication. And the sun is detrimented in the first line of the 46 due to Jupiter being in the 46, and the sun is in the line of being discovered, dedication and obscurity that is unexpectedly discovered, detrimented the ability to judge the potential of those in obscurity, but often solely to benefit one's own success. The determination to recognize and benefit from the success of others. And as we move from the 6 to the 46, we enter a gate of collective abstract gate of sharing the experience of the body. We're still in the quarter of duality, the quarter of bonding, and in the 46, this is a gate of love to be shared with another. It's a G-center gate of behavior, movement, synchronizing collective identity, relationships, love of the body, and it's harmonic. The 29th gate is a sacral center gate that feeds the love of the body with its commitment to care collectively, to say yes to having an experience. Together they form the channel of discovery, succeeding where others fail, failing where others succeed. This is a tantric channel. Its polarity is the 25th gate in hexagram, empowering the love of the mind, which brings us to the cross of the vessel of love. And this is the midpoint of the quarter of duality. The first 8 gates begin with the Sphinx, and it's about direction and the physical dynamic of the relationship. At the midpoint, we get to love, and the theme of love is through the second half of the quarter. And with the sun in the 46, we have the potential for good fortune through the body. Also on the 20th, Venus moves from the 32nd gate to the 50. So we have Venus in the 50th gate, and this is about Venus is about values, morality. Ra talked about it being natural law in which we deal with the other and the consequences of the world around us. And Venus is in the 50th gate of values, the cauldron, the values of a historical continuity whose traditional values serve and enrich the present and the future. Venus is detrimented in the first line of the 50, which is the immigrant, humbleness of origin that benefits rather than restricts destiny, detriment, a dissatisfaction with or embarrassment with origins that makes an obsession of refinement, a dissatisfaction with original values that demand refinement. And in the program, Venus is about control through maintaining the status quo in the way in which we operate with each other. And we all experience these transiting planets through the Maya. And we're not here to avoid the Maya, but to embrace it, but embracing it as yourself through following your individual strategy and authority. On the 21st, the sun then moves into the second line of the 46th gate and hexagram at 2:25 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 1825 UT. The sun is exalted in the 46-2, and it's described as the prima donna. Exalted, a difficult and demanding nature that succeeds despite its behavior because of the depths of its talents. The determination to succeed that may offend others. On the 22nd, the sun then moves into the third line of the 46 at 1:25 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 1725 UT. The sun in the 46-3 is projection, exalted, a practical approach to good fortune that maintains the same patterns and attitudes that brought success and does not get sidetracked by indulging in further expectations. The determination to stay with what brings success. Detrimented, a tendency through projection to treat a potential future as the present, leading to unjustified egoism and the loss of momentum and support, the determination to treat a projected success as reality. On the 23rd, the sun then moves into the fourth line of the 46 at 12:24 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 16:24 UT. The sun in the 46-4 is impact, exalted, the ability once recognized to move rapidly to a position from a position of obscurity to influence. Good luck that comes from being determined that eventually in the right place at the right time leads to recognition. Detrimented, a reaction to achievement that tends to bite off the hand that fed it. The determination to succeed, the determination in success to ignore those who helped create it. And then on the 24th, the sun then moves into the fifth line of the 46 hexagram at 11:22 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 15:22 UT. The sun in the 46-5 is described as pacing, exalted, the maintenance of proper rhythm, what is instinctively that is in its let me just start that again. The maintenance of proper rhythm that in its instinctive practicality avoids radical divergence from successful patterns. The determination to stay with the rhythm which brings success. Detrimented, an irrational rejection of the very patterns that have proven successful, determined to say no to the very rhythm that brings success. And then also on the 24th, Mars moves from the 11 to the 10. So we have Mars is in the gate of the behavior of the self, treading the underlying code of behavior, which ensures successful interaction despite circumstances. And Mars is detrimented in the second and fifth lines of the 10th hexagram. Of course, it enters in the first line of the 10, which is modesty, the innate sense to know and accept one's place and how to act despite circumstances, exalted, a valued sense of purpose no matter what the position, the ability to know one's place and how to act despite circumstances. Detrimented, the affliction of oversensitivity and hurt feelings, oversensitivity to external conditioning of behavior. And Ross spoke about Mars being an extraordinary and immature energy resource that lacks refinement and is subject to outbursts. And Mars in the program is about expression through a mutation. It plays out in the mundane plane as change. These are changes that take hold in the homogenized worlds as fads or trends. This is an illusion because the population is ready for the same change at the same time because of transiting Mars. So I want to thank you for checking out New World Birth. The next segment of the weekly neutrino forecast will be for September 25th, 2016, should be available on the 24th when we continue to look at the influence of the heavenly bodies as they transit the sky in the hexagrams of the I Ching. You can check us out on Facebook, Blogger, or YouTube, and I encourage you to share this information as videos or text as widely as you choose, and invite you to contact me at newworldbirth@yahoo.com if you have any questions or wish to schedule a reading. And if you've been thinking about getting a reading, please contact me. I would love to provide you a reading during these uncertain times. You'll need to either be able to call me in Maine in the USA, or we can connect with Skype to receive your reading. We're also accepting donations to keep these reports freely available. And the best way to make a donation is to contact me at newworldbirth@yahoo.com, and I'll send you instructions. And we are really in need of financial support here. I have literally looked at the calendar and have considered how much longer this is going to last without readings or donations, and it's looking pretty dire. So if you're so inclined and have the resources, please contact me. It really would help out quite a bit right now. Anyway, as always, I'm blessed that you've taken the time to connect with my passion for these ancient mysteries, their synthesis and application to our journey during this incarnation. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste, in Lakesh, and as Ra would say, love yourself. All my best to everybody and look forward to connecting with you in the future.